Hey, welcome to Real Vision. My name is Santiago Velez. I'm the co-founder of Block Digital Corporation, and I'm pleased to bring to you today on Real Vision Mr. Edward Woodford. He is the CEO and co-founder of Zero Hash. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So when I started to do a little research on your project, I started to realize that maybe there was some problems not being addressed in the digital asset space. I think most of the space is focused very much on P2P at the consumer retail level. And what I kind of stood out for me in your project was a focus on business. But before we get to that, I'd like to introduce the audience to you and a little bit about yourself and the company. So can you give us a kind of quick overview of your background?
Yeah, so you can probably tell by the accent, grew up in the UK. Then I came to the US for grad school, so graduated from MIT. Started a business in the emerging agricultural space. We sold part of that business off and then founded Zero Hash in the digital asset ecosystem.
And so Zero Hash is the name of the company. Can you tell us a little bit about, first of all, maybe the problem that you saw that motivated you to Zero Hash? And then can you also tell us, what was it about the digital asset space that you found exciting or drew you in, right? This black hole that's kind of sucking all this great talent.
Yeah, so maybe starting from that bit first, what drew me in. I think it was really that, 3-4 years ago, a lot of people self-selected out of the digital asset space, right? A lot of people are jumping into the digital asset space right now. But at that point, that's what drew me in, was the fact that a lot of people self-selected out. I like the fact that people felt that it was somewhat controversial. People had a very visceral reaction to it, but actually hadn't done much work to understand the potential. And for me, that's a great space to play because a lot of people self-select out. So you don't necessarily need to be the smartest person in the room because a lot of people aren't willing to come into the room, right? So that's what drew me in. And, to your question about the genesis of Zero Hash, we didn't have this great foresight of the business where it is today is different from where it was then. So we founded the business to be actually a direct customer business, right? We were building out a crypto exchange with some differentiation and different pieces. But very quickly we realized, hey, if our thesis is that crypto is going to become a big part of people's financial portfolios, a big part of the utility of the financial system, isn't that going to happen to a large degree where people already have their bank accounts or already have their brokerage accounts? And so we actually realized that the value of the business wasn't in the direct to customer piece. It was actually in all the back office infrastructure that we'd built. And so our business today is effectively a B2B2C business. We don't have direct B2C customers. We enable businesses to launch digital asset products natively and embedded within their own infrastructure, very similar to banking as a service or brokerage as a service. So we offer what we call digital assets as a service. And that's effectively what we do. We allow people to buy, sell, reward, round up, stake, hold NFTs. And people can do that where they already have accounts today. Neobanks such as Moneyline, Wirex, trading firms such as TradeStation, Tastyworks, all leverage us to offer crypto natively to their customers today as part of their client experience.
I see. So if I'm understanding correctly, it's essentially, it's very much a fintech-oriented business that revolves around almost a white label platform that a business can build on top of and integrate with their existing portals on behalf of their customers. And then through some kind of API process, allow calling to your platform so that you can provide all of these services that maybe that's not their core competency, right? And so they need the instead of building all that out internally and going through that effort, they can call on your service and basically use those functions and apply or offer those things to their customers. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we have, dedicated APIs if you want to issue crypto rewards, for example, if you're a credit card issuer or you have a credit card for your customers, you can hit our rewards endpoint. If you want to buy and sell, you can hit our buy and sell endpoint. And so it's exactly that. Really, the problem set that you identified is spot on. Just to elaborate a little bit on it, we really solve three main problems. One is regulatory. The movement of digital assets is a regulated activity in a large number of jurisdictions. And so, for example, in the United States, we're money transmitter in each and every state. The second piece is technology. Crypto is complex, but not only is it complex, but it's rapidly evolving, right? So the top 10 crypto assets today aren't the top 10 assets that were there a year ago. So it's not just build, but it's also maintenance and continuing to scale. And then the third piece is that most players do not want to have crypto on balance sheet. So even if a group said, I'm willing to get regulated, I'm willing to build out the technical infrastructure, they actually don't want crypto to sit on their balance sheet or be a counterparty to crypto for a number of reasons. And so we are the counterparty to the transaction. We are the custodian in the sense that the crypto sits on our balance sheet. So that's the reason why businesses leverage Zero Hash to offer crypto natively within their infrastructure.
Yeah, that's brilliant. From my view, it seems that one of the biggest problems a lot of brands and businesses have to really engaging the space is exactly what you laid out. You have platform risk, you have regulatory risk, you have the technical competencies that you have to build out to even be able to do it. And then, of course, you have the obsolescence risk, right? That the technology is moving very quickly. And that can be a very big distraction, all of those elements to a business.
Absolutely.
Who is in the business of doing something else, right? It's not their core business. And, providing that and abstracting it essentially. So to me, you're providing an abstraction layer there where a lot of those problems, you being experts can facilitate a solution for.
Exactly.
So I think it's quite brilliant.
Thank you.
So which particular and we'll get into all of the different verticals, but I see maybe payments as one vertical, digital asset custody as another, and maybe digital asset property primitives like an NFT. Can you talk a little bit more specifically about, in those three verticals, what kind of services you might offer?
Yeah, so we break down our verticals really by kind of vertical of the type of customers working with us. So so for example, in the payment space, we power a bunch of on ramps and off ramps, right? So if you think of groups like MoonPay, Transact, Ramp, CoinMama, Simplex, we power a bunch of these groups in the United States and elsewhere. And effectively what we provide is the ability to generate crypto addresses unique to each person, and then the movement of those funds, and then the withdrawal of those funds. So we're acting as effectively a payment mechanism. Where we're particularly bullish around payments and is actually more traditional players entering the payment space. And what drives that excitement is really two big theses. One is obviously the kind of adoption of the metaverse, and then the second is Web 3.0. Traditional what people have termed payments in crypto really aren't payments. They're really very easy ways to buy crypto as like a GUI plugin. That's what people have termed payments in crypto. Really what payments is actually a transfer of value. And so what makes us bullish is that traditional payment mechanisms can't interact with Web 3.0 and the metaverse in many ways, right? So if you want to, for example, buy an NFT, you need to interact with a smart contract, either through Solana or Ethereum or Polygon or whatever. So the beauty that we see is traditional payment players entering the space, leveraging their very robust traditional fiat payment mechanisms, and leveraging Zero Hash to be an abstraction away from that interaction with crypto. So you can buy an NFT, but actually you don't need to interact ever with crypto. You swipe your credit card, you now have an NFT. That's what we provide to people today. And I think that's going to continue to scale with more traditional and established players in the payment space.
Hey, if you like this clip, be sure to check out the full interview and more only on realvision.com/crypto. It's 100% free. Sign up now.